part of your onboarding training, you need to complete the course Online Learning K-8. This course is for both learning coach and students. It is required, but we do not count it towards your progress and grades. This course will either show up, you can use the course drop-down menu, or you can find it in the student's daily and weekly plan, which you would use the plan drop-down to get to that. It is only 4 lessons. There is 1 quiz. It does need to be completed and marked off by the learning coach and entered in attendance for, which that will be another video on how to do that. So you have your orientations and work sessions, which are live class connects. That's your practice classes during your soft start week. But then you also have, this is like your practice course to make sure we know, yes, they know how to get to their plan. Yes, they know how to get to a lesson. Yes, the learning coach knows how to move through the lesson, mark it off completed, and enter in attendance. So doing this that's what's showing us, is making sure that you know how to navigate through and mark off the required things. So when you go to the students, if you use the plan drop down, go to the daily plan. This is what a student's plan looks like. So at the top, you'll see the class connects. You will only see orientations and work sessions, just whatever you need to complete for onboarding training. Over here, it will say if it's required or optional. That's exactly what it means. If it's required, the student needs to go. All orientations, we want learning coaches to be there as well during their onboarding week. You won't see any other courses show up for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. So because we're easing you into it, all you should see is these 4 lessons, Online Learning K-8, as well as the orientations class connects and the work session class connects to get through your onboarding training. So these are the 4 lessons. You're going to click lesson 1. Both learning coaches and student needs to be watching this. There's lesson 2. There is a quiz in lesson 2. And lesson 3, how to be successful, and lesson 4, your tips and tricks. So when they are completed, they're going to mark it off done, but all 4 videos and lessons need to be done, including the quiz. So this is what a lesson looks like once you click on the lesson. So this is inside a lesson. It will show up like this. You can either have them read it to you and you're a student, or you can read it out loud. You can use the arrows to move forward or back through the lesson. Then down here, here's reading through the information and the lessons and watch all the videos that show up. You can click on this and make it a large view so it shows up in your whole monitor. You'll have to click play either here or here and watch through all the videos. So some of it's reading materials, you can have it read to you. Some of it's a video you can watch, which you can also have it read to you, and then read through all the information. So each slide will have something different and you just arrow through it, read all the information, watch all the videos, whatever shows up on the lessons. The quiz also will show up that it's only 5 questions, 5 points on what you covered in lesson 1 and 2. This just shows us that you know how to get to a quiz and you know how to take a quiz. It's, like I said, only 5 questions. Take it together with the learning coach and student, since all of onboarding is together. And then once they're out of onboarding, then it's directed towards the student. But we keep onboarding training, especially for our K-5 kids. It is created for both learning coach and student. So once you click on that quiz, you click start and it moves you through all 5 questions. And then when you're done with each lesson, or after all 4 are completed, depending on how you want to do it, the learning coach needs to mark it off done. So just doing the lessons don't show us that you did them. You have to follow up and manually mark lessons off completed and enter an attendance time. So these circles on the right-hand side of the lessons, when they're open like that, shows that on our end, it shows you haven't done them. So you might be working really hard in lessons, but if the learning coach isn't doing their responsibility of marking them off so we can see them, the state can see them, so they know the student is going to school, that's why that is a learning coach requirement. So to mark lesson off completed and enter in attendance, you're going to click on that circle. It might ask you, since you're in the student account, sometimes it will ask you for the learning coach's username or password because we don't want the students to be marking off those lessons completed. So once the learning coach puts in their username or password, do not share that with your student. Then a box like this pops up. It says, if you would like to change the status of this lesson, select an option. You're either going to click I'm done with this lesson or I'm skipping this lesson. You cannot mark skipped for any lesson. Only the homeroom teacher will mark skipped lessons for you if they don't have it in their curriculum. So you're going to click I'm done with this lesson, click save. Once you click save, an attendance box pops up. So any attendance time tied with a lesson, you can mark it off right here. So always a default time, a suggested amount of time will show up. Change that to however long it took you to do the lesson, and then click save.